Hello, you guys. How are you? Happy
Morning.
Tuesday. We're so glad that you are here. We're thrilled to have you join us for our training today, which is why 95% of new blogs fail and how to be the 5% in 2025 that make it and do amazing, great things. So, starting a blog is exciting. We know that. But the truth is, so many fail within the first year. Why? Because it's hard. Mistakes get repeated, and outdated
Ooh,
advice feels like the only roadmap. Okay. Let me tell you something. Blogging in 2025 is different than even blogging in 2024. Okay. Today, we're
right?
breaking down the myths that hold bloggers back and replacing them with actual truths and actionable strategies because Kelly and I know what's going on here. I've been doing this since 2008, 2007. I don't remember, a long time. Kelly, how long have you been doing it?
2006, November 2006.
There you go. We've been doing this a long time. Tell them what they're going to learn.
Today you're going to learn the top 4 blogging myths that sabotage your growth, the truth about what it really takes to thrive as a blogger, and some actionable steps so that you too can join the 5% of bloggers who succeed in 2025.
Yep. And what are you going to walk away with? 3 things: a crystal clear understanding of what to do and what not to do. I'm sorry. You're going to walk away with an easy, practical habit that you can put into place immediately. We're going to give you a couple of habits, actually. And number 3, confidence to build a blog that stands out, thrives, and makes it right now in 2025.
Yeah.
When
So
things get hard.
if you're feeling overwhelmed by blogging advice, if you're stuck in analysis paralysis,
Yeah.
that's a big one, right? Where we just keep looking at the data and we never really do anything with it. Analysis paralysis. Or if you're unsure how to avoid those common mistakes that you keep hearing about, today's training is going to show you. It's going to show you how to break free because together we're going to clear the clutter. We're going to dispel the myths and we're going to focus on what actually works. So
Yep.
let's get into it with myth numero uno, Miss
Yep.
Cristal.
Myth number 1 is this: you need perfect branding before you launch. So the myth is your logo, your color scheme, your about page, they need to be flawless because no one's going to take you seriously otherwise. That's a lie. The truth is, consistency beats perfection. A simple header, a clear tagline, and a basic homepage logo or homemade logo are all that you need to get started and begin blogging, begin your journey. You can rebrand later once you know what resonates with your audience. Let me tell you, Kelly and I have both rebranded. Like what our blogs looked like in
Ugh.
2008 and 2006, not the same at all. Night and day.
In
Okay.
fact, it's probably time to upgrade again. Like times change, right? Like I just said the other day, we were in a meeting and I was at my grandmother's house and I'm looking in my background while I'm in my grandmother's house, my 93-year-old grandmother. And
Mm-hmm.
I said to Crystal, what point do we hit in our lives when we decide, okay, we're done? This decoration in this house is the way it's going to be for the rest of my life, right? Because you could tell that I was sitting in a 1950s home.
I said
Nothing
for
had
your grandma,
changed
I
since
think
like
it
the
was the
50s.
50s.
You go to my mom and daddy's house, nothing has changed since the 80s.
Yeah.
Like, in my grandma didn't build her house in the 50s. She just stopped updating it at some point, right? My mother didn't build her house in the 80s. She just stopped updating at that point. Like, am
Mhm.
I done? Is this what my house is going to look like for the rest of my life? Are
Right.
my grandchildren going to come to my house and be like, is this so 2020?
This is so live life love. Oh my goodness.
Right? Right? I watched that Joanna Gaines on Nick at Night. That's what your house looks like.
Right. Right. Oh, that's pretty funny. But it's true. It's so true. It's
Right?
so true.
It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing with our blogs. At what point do we just decide this is good enough? We don't need to update it anymore.
Mhm.
You don't
You're
want
gonna
your
hit
blog stuck in the 50s.
you're gonna hit that, and then you're gonna be like, okay, I gotta snap out of it. I mean, I went like 8 years without a blog redesign, and that might as well be 20 years in this space. That's way too long.
But don't get so caught up in branding
Mm-hmm.
that you're not actually doing anything else,
Mm-hmm.
right? You've got to simplify your branding. You have to just move forward. Don't get caught up in these things. If it's 1950s, but the content is great, that's fine.
Mhm.
Handle it later. Simplify it now. Use Canva to create a clean site header and a tagline that clearly explains your blog's value. For example, instead of agonizing over a logo, start with a bold text design that's just healthy eats for busy moms, right? And really prioritize that clarity over the fancy. A clear message draws people in. They aren't there for your golden arches, right? They're there for your quick, convenient food that kids think is so amazing, right? They're not there for your check mark. They're there for comfy shoes that make their feet not hurt. They're there for their problems to be solved, not for your logo. But then you can always revisit it later.
Yep.
After testing some ideas, refresh your branding based on your real user feedback, your data about your audience preferences, and whatever decade you're currently in. Right?
Right. Here is your actionable exercise. Log into Canva and design a header in 10 minutes. Focus on bold text and a tagline, like simple DIY decor ideas in 5 minutes or less. If you go to crystalandcomp.com, that little header that's on there that just says Crystal and Co., I made that in Canva in like 2 minutes
Right.
because I was tired of what was there. And we're not doing a overhaul, complete overhaul right now. So because we just did that. Right. I made, honestly, your end user is probably not even paying attention to that. They're paying attention to
If they're on mobile, they don't even see it most likely.
exactly. Exactly. All right. So myth number 2, you must post daily to succeed. Kelly, tell them why that's a lie.
Myth. Posting more is the magic formula for faster growth, but I want you guys to listen because here's the truth here. Posting daily can absolutely help you grow fast if your content is deliberate and high quality. Mindless, rushed posts, they're not going to move the needle. Instead, you must focus on intentional content that adds value to your audience every single day, which leads me to our worksheet. Text the word value, because we're adding value, to 251-644-6701 to get your free printable worksheet, value. 251-644-6701. Crystal, what steps do they need to take to bust this myth?
So, number 1, you're going to post with purpose every day. Okay. We do really want you to post every day, but not if it's crap. Like it needs to be good stuff. Okay.
Right.
So you need to post with purpose every single day. So instead of just posting for the sake of it, like I got to do a blog post today. And let me tell you, when we first started out, we have some content like that where it's Dear Diary, I have nothing to write about today. So that should have never been on there. That was a bad idea. Okay. So instead of just popping something up there for the sake of it, develop a clear plan. Each piece of content should solve a problem. It should share a unique perspective. It should connect with your audience in a meaningful way. It's not just, okay, I put something up there, check, that's done. What do I do now?
Right.
So, example, a food blog could rotate between recipes, cooking tips, ingredient spotlights to build out a full useful content library. So a food blog, every blog post doesn't have to be a recipe. It can be a whole blog post dedicated to tips for freezing leftovers, if that makes sense for your brand and actually if it follows your data, but we're not even there yet. Like we're not even talking to you about that yet. But you're being intentional, right? You're not just throwing it up there just because.
Right. How to pick out cauliflower.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea how overwhelming it is for somebody who wants to cook something that they've never cooked, like a 20-something-year-old who just got married and now they have to figure out what they're going to cook for their husband for the rest of their lives, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, my mom makes cauliflower. I'm going to make this cauliflower recipe. I got the recipe from my mom, and now I'm standing in a grocery store going, well, I have no idea what cauliflower is good cauliflower. How am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to know?
Do I get the organic?
Right.
Pre-cut? Not pre-cut? I don't even know. I'm calling my mom.
Right. What tomato is a good tomato? Should it be soft? Should it be hard? Should it be a little bit yellow? Should it be super bright red? Like, I don't know. I don't know anything about. There's so many tomatoes. Those are great articles for a cooking blog. If your blog is about cooking for beginners, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So number 2, build out your content library. Daily, deliberate posting absolutely helps establish a solid foundation of resources that keeps your visitors coming back. So I want you to create categories that make your site a go-to. For example, a parenting blog might cover sleep schedules, meal plans, and family activities to cover multiple areas of interest for a parent.
Okay, that's really important. Number 3, consistent quality over fluff. So we talked about this at the beginning. Like, it is ideal that you have a blog post go live every day, as long as it's not fluff. Quality should be your top priority because that is how you build a relationship with Google. Okay. A concise, helpful cooking hack will outperform something that's rushed and overcomplicated and a recipe that doesn't even work. That
Right.
like you're guessing that all of this is going to work. You don't even know if this recipe will work, right? A recipe that you left out all of the instructions for, right? Because you were so rushed to try to get this out. All right, what is their actionable exercise?
Look at your posting schedule and plan one intentional piece of content for every day this week that aligns with your blog's main value areas, your blog's main categories. And use tools like Answer the Public or BuzzSumo to really get some of those audience focused ideas if you don't already have content. If you already have content, use Search Console.
Yep. Batch create drafts for the week to stay ahead while maintaining quality. Here's your key takeaway. Posting daily can work. It does work. It is ideal, but only when every post is crafted with intention and aligns with your growth strategy. We also call this when it follows your data, but you're not quite there yet. Just be intentional. Don't just post to post. Post to provide value. That is key. What is myth number 3?
Right? Man, could you imagine if every night for dinner you just gave your kids some cookies and potato chips? They're eating. You're feeding them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same concept. I mean, that might sound extreme, but same exact concept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Myth number 3, you have to be everywhere on social. The myth is you need to post on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Facebook, all at once in order to grow. Okay, the truth is you really need to focus on one platform where your audience already hangs out, where they click to your blog so that you're growing your traffic, and master that platform before you expand to others. However, I highly, 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 highly recommend that you secure your brand over there. You want to know why my Twitter is one thing and my Facebook is another? Because I didn't secure it, because you did it differently back in the day and somebody took it. So secure your branding on the platform. Don't waste your time trying to grow all these different platforms.
Yep. All right. So how are you going to do this? Steps to bust this myth. Number 1, identify your audience's preferred platform. So just because you have a friend that's a food blogger, but you're a parenting blogger, which really both of these would probably be, but just because you're the niche that you are focused on, where are you going to find the majority of your audience right now? Like, we need traffic from all the places. Yes, I know that. Sometimes when we're coaching people, we're like, well, where do you want your traffic from? Well, I want my traffic from everywhere. What keywords do you want? I want all the keywords. Okay, well, hold on. We got to start with one. We got to bite off one thing. What is that? Okay. So where is the majority of your traffic looking for information? If you have a baby product review site, they're probably on Pinterest. They're young moms looking for the best products. Okay. If you are a site that is all about career advice, you're probably going to benefit from focusing heavily on LinkedIn. Okay. Yeah. Think about these things, right?
Yeah. If you are like techie, gaming, things like that, you're probably going to find your people on Reddit and private Discords.
Or even YouTube. All right. Number 2, master your chosen platform. Put all your efforts into creating valuable content on that place and building relationships on that channel. Okay. I want you to also remember, building a blog is a full-time business. Building each of the platforms that support the referral traffic for it is also full-time businesses. This is not easy, guys. If you're getting into blogging because somebody told you that this was easy money, it's not easy. There's a lot that goes into this. And
you're building something. You're building something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you're like, I think I'm going to build a house. Actually, this house is going a little slow. So I think I'm going to build 5 houses.
Mm-hmm. Right. That doesn't make sense, does it? Okay. The last thing that you can do is expand once you see results. So after consistent success on that first platform, you can experiment with another platform, right? So now, where's the next best place that you're going to find people for that parenting referral traffic? Instagram. How are we going to be intentional and deliberate there? Or is it a Facebook group? How are we going to be intentional and deliberate there? And Facebook is like multiple full-time businesses, because if you're going to do a page and if you're going to do groups, those are full-time things. There's a lot that goes into this. All right, tell them what their actionable exercise is.
Choose your platform. Don't forsake it when it doesn't grow as fast as you want it to grow. Right? Choose your platform and post your first piece of value-packed content with a call to action. Pin this recipe to your dinner board.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. All right. Myth number 4. Myth number 4. SEO is dead. Just ride that social trend. Goodness, we are hearing this a lot right now because the industry's been hit, right? So the myth is that social media trends will bring more traffic than worrying about fickle Google rankings. But Kelly, tell them what the truth is.
Truth is, guys, organic search still drives 60 to 70% of blog traffic for new blogs. Seriously. Because you don't have a platform and Google does. Right. So when you optimize for keywords, you're going to get long-lasting results that are going to outlive short-lived trends, right? Microblogging, it's instant. I can post something on Twitter, but it's gone. I can post something on Facebook, but it's only going to be shown for a couple days. Right? Your blog is there forever.
Yep. So let's talk about
what they take.
Yep. Steps to bust this myth. Number 1, focus on keyword clusters. We teach this in our coaching program, but focus on choosing a primary keyword and branch out into related subtopics for that. So an example would be for a wedding blog, start with simple wedding centerpieces or simple wedding centerpiece ideas. Okay. And create related posts about DIY centerpiece tutorials. Okay. So we're branching out, right?
Like boho, DIY centerpiece, right?
DIY rustic centerpieces, DIY floral, feminine centerpieces, right? Okay, we're not just, you can't just say, well, I already wrote about centerpieces, right? But you didn't write the centerpiece type that she wanted. You wrote the centerpiece that she wanted. And you need to serve both of these people. Okay. All right. Number 2.
Use schema markup. It's very important. That's how Google understands it. You're telling them what it is. So tools like Yoast or Rank Math, though I recommend Yoast, make it easy to implement FAQ schema for better search visibility.
Yep. Number 3, keep your site speed in check. A slow loading site can hurt rankings no matter how perfectly optimized your keywords are. We did a whole training on site speed stuff. Go check it out. And what's their actionable exercise?
Research one long tail keyword using your Google Search Console and create a post targeting it this week. Get it done.
All right, that's it. These are the 4 most common myths that we hear that are holding back new bloggers or people that are, thinking about starting out. And now you know how to bust them. The truth is, blogging success doesn't require perfection. It doesn't require posting a bunch of fluff or spreading yourself thin across every single platform. Instead, it's about simplicity, focus, and consistency. Consistency is the key. I don't care if you're growing a blog, a Pinterest account, a YouTube channel, a TikTok, or crocheting, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. You have to be consistent. The only way that you're going to get anything done and make forward moving progress is to be consistent in any business that you're trying to grow. Okay.
So look, you don't have to have it all figured out to succeed. You just need to take one tiny step today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. One tiny step, whether it's posting your first affiliate link on your new Pinterest channel or it's creating your first logo using Canva. Take a step, move forward. Don't get caught in freeze mode, right?
So here's what we want you to do today. There's 2 things. Number 1, we want you to take one of these truths that we talked about and that we discussed today and put it into action immediately. You can do this. We know that you can do this. We told you exactly how to do it, and we can't wait to hear the progress that you make. You're well on your way to being part of that 5% that thrives. Be the 5% that thrives in 25, okay? The other thing that I want you to do is to text the word value and just the word value. And we want to send you a free printable that will help you put some of this stuff into place. If you will text the number 251-644-6701, just the word value, it'll send it to you. Okay? All right, guys. Anything else, Kelly?
No, ma'am, I got nothing. Y'all have a great rest of your week.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Bye.